Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And we have another Lorna Slater story. And to be honest, I'm actually starting to feel sorry for her. I'm not really, because she is an idiot. But the final end to the DRS has come. She is completely humiliated because of everything she's done. Everything she tried to do, it didn't work. She was blaming Westminster. She was blaming outside forces. She was blaming everyone except the one person who was truly at fault. And that, of course, was Lorna Slater. And here comes the final nail in the coffin. A judge has ruled that it was illegal. The whole DRS wouldn't work. It was unlawful. She didn't even check to see the legality of what she was doing. And so it's gone off. Somebody's appealed it. And the judge has come back and says, no, you can't do it. It's illegal. Honestly, I shouldn't laugh. I should be very, very professional about this. Oh, God almighty. Have you seen these people? Right. So what happened is, Circularity Scotland apparently wanted to put the 20p onto these bottles, but they wanted to charge a small handling fee to the retailer. So the person who buys would get like 20p, but the retailer would only get the 18p back or something like that. Anyway, the judge just went, no. The retailers got together and went, no, give us a judgment on this. The judgment's come back and said, no, you can't do that, it's illegal. And so the whole DRS would never have passed muster anyway. The British government could have gone, yes, have your full IMA exemption. Do whatever you like. And then she wouldn't have been able to blame the British government, the UK government, because it still wouldn't have gone through because the judge has said it's illegal. Let's have a look at this story and laugh at the final humiliating end to Lorna Slater's DRS. I've got to be honest with you, some of the videos I do are very, very hard. The subject matter's hard, and I do them because I feel it's important. And then other days, you get videos like this. Oh boy, I love my job. Sometimes you just have so much fun. You look at it and you can't believe, because you followed this journey all the way. We together, me and you, good viewer, have done this journey all the way through now. And we have seen the ups and the downs. And we have, from the day one, slated this scheme and said it's a terrible, terrible scheme. And now, right at the end, after it's actually cancelled by them anyway, now at the end, the judge says it would never, ever have been legal. I'm almost crying with laughter. I'm going to have to try and stop. I have to be professional. Be professional. Get the story out. Come on, the show's got to go on. Get this story out. So, Lorna Slater's deposit return scheme branded unlawful as judge hammers final nail in its coffin. Yeah, hammers the final nail in the coffin, kicks the coffin into the grave, pours on the petrol and sets fire to it. It is done, isn't it? So anyway, a judge has ruled Circularity Scotland Limited did not have the power to impose retail handler fees. There she is. Oh, look, in happier days when she was shouting, going, it's all Westminster's fault. Anyway, Lorna Slater's deposit return scheme lies in tatters after an independent retailer won a judicial review against the project. The nationalist government has already kicked the scheme into the long grass until a UK-wide one is implemented. Incidentally, when the UK-wide one comes up then, they won't be able to charge handling fees. The judge has ruled it's illegal. That'll be interesting. Anyway, but now it is effectively dead in its current form after the court session judge sided with Abdul Majid, MBE, who owns shops in Bells Hill and Coatbridge. In a written judgment released on Friday, Lord Young backed Mr Majid's argument that it had not been legal for Circularity Scotland Limited to set the retail handler fees for the scheme. I don't know you, Mr Majid. I'm going to just simply give you a salute, sir. Thank you very much for the hard work you've done. Well done. You have provided me with such a joyous Friday. What a way to end a week. Anyway, reacting to the news, the Scottish Grocers Federation Chief Executive, Dr Pete Chima OBE, said the decision has held that the way the Scottish Government and Circularity Scotland had set up the deposit return scheme was unlawful. He added, the decision essentially stops the DRS progressing in its current form. Isn't it funny? Now, she'll be sitting there seething, absolutely seething, because she can't blame the Westminster government anymore. Because even if they gave her the full permission, it still wouldn't have happened, because the judge says, Lorna Slater, you're breaking the law with your plans. Anyway, this... I've got to stop it. Stop crying. Anyway, Pete Chima continued. He says, it's hugely disappointing, however, that it took a court action by an independent retailer when the Scottish Grocers Federation has tried for some considerable time to make the Scottish Government listen to those directly affected. Indeed, we had personally informed Lorna Slater that CSL was breaching its licence, but she refused to support us when it was obvious that we were right. No, you can never be right. Lorna Slater is the one that's always right. And as long as you remember that, you'll be fine. Also, we had warned the Scottish Government that it was never industry-led, even though they said it was. But they lie, because we know that's all they do. They're the SNP. They're liars. Anyway, despite representing the largest number of return point operators, our voice was consistently not listened to. SGF is hopeful that the UK government will make this legal position binding when they introduce the UK-wide DRS scheme in October 25. I just mentioned that. Yeah, they'll probably have to make a little tweak there to deal with the handling fees. Even if it comes out of general taxation, someone's got to pay for it. But yeah, that's fine. Anyway, Mr. Majid said, I am absolutely delighted to have won my case. Bet you are, sunshine. One which I feel in many ways was not just for myself, but for many other retailers who would have been negatively impacted if CSL had been able to proceed with their plans for the setting of retail handling fee. He's quite right, because that his one little victory has scuppered the plans and saved, thousands of shopkeepers up and down the whole of Scotland, and potentially up and down the whole of the United Kingdom. So, Mr. Majid is, not all heroes wear cloaks. Anyway, the review had sought to determine whether CSL was entitled to set the RHF payable under the DRS and what factors must be taken into account in setting this fee. CSL announced in May 2022 it has reached a determination of the value of the RHF, which had been calculated by an independent body. Mr. Majid argued regulations set out in 2020 did not give CSL the power to determine the RHF, and if it did, it should be based on the costs to individual retailers. He argued his business would lose £1,000 a month under the fees set by CSL. That's a lot, and you've got to think, £1,000 a month per shop. How many thousands and thousands of shops? You're looking millions a month, because it's basically, I'll tell you what that'll be a little stealth tax by the SNP, because they're so skint. That's probably half the reason they wanted to set it up the way they did. Anyway, in its submission, CSL argued that there was a general principle that an independent entity would calculate the costs on its behalf when members signed up to the scheme. Lord Young agreed with Mr. Majid on both his arguments. CSL went into administration after Miss Slater and Humza Yousaf ditched the scheme. Its administrators, Interpath and the Scottish Government have been approached for comment. Miss Slater has accused the UK Government of torpedoing the scheme after Scottish Secretary Alistair Jack granted an internal market exemption if only the glass was ditched. And now we know now that even if he'd have given her the full permission, it wouldn't have mattered. It would still have crashed and burned, because the moron didn't check even if what she was doing was legal. Oh, Lorna, you are so joyous to behold. The face that's launched 1,000 videos. And I thank you for your service. And I am coming up. Honestly, you couldn't make this stuff up, could you? It reads like a really bad play or something. It's like, if you're reading this in a book, you think, that's a load of old rubbish. Nobody would be this stupid. Nobody would do that. I just can't get over how amazingly dim that woman is. That said, I love her to bits. I have done hundreds of videos thanks to Lorna Slater. Every day. Oh, let's see what Lorna's done now. Whoa, there's another video. She's just so good. You get so much value for money out of that woman. I'm glad that she won that. I'm glad that she won that vote of confidence to keep her in the government, because you never know what's going to happen next with her. You know, she is joyous, isn't she? She's a funny old bird. She is. I mean, she's as thick as two short planks, but she is funny. She's wonderful. I thank you, Lorna. Honestly, days you provide me and my viewers with days like this where we can just sit there and laugh our tits off. I still can't remember the funny days. Stop it. I'm trying to be professional and I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop the video now. I'm just going to go. Thank you very much for watching. If this video does not deserve a subscribe, then I don't know what does. Please do subscribe for this. And thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.